So I told the missionary, if God, through prayer, provided to buy, we will keep praying, he will provide to build. How many agree that is possible? So I've told you, in case you start seeing me in your dream, you know it's time to build. Don't struggle at all. Just know that that guy you are seeing, he wants to build a house for God. Let's go build it together. Well, that's by the way. I'm just trying to stress what prayer can do. Acts of Apostles chapter 9, verse 10, verse 11. Verse 10, verse 11. Acts of Apostles chapter 9. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias, and he said, behold, I am here, Lord. Verse 11. And the Lord said unto him, arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus. For why? For behold, he prayed. He's praying. If you have a prayer life, people that you will need in your rising, God will knit your heart together. That's why you must never live a life that manipulates people, that deceives people, that coerces people, that force them. But have a prayer altar. There is no how or God will be praying and God will be speaking to my heart as a result of his prayer that I will not obey God. How many agree with that? If this man is to meet, if Paul is to meet Ananias, Ananias will run away for safety. Who knows why? Because the guy was coming to kill all of them. You know, he told God, he said, God, I've heard about this man, how much evil he has done. He said, don't worry. No matter how bad he is, just go to him. Of time, people keep checking you, till they draw their conclusion. I hope you know that's the way life runs. Look at McLean. They keep supplying McLean, until even in your subconscious, in those days, I think it is changed to either close up or something now. In those days, in your subconscious, when you want to buy a paste, what do you say? McLean, Shani McLean. You know what I'm talking about? The same thing with Coca-Cola. In fact, for some people, all soft drinks are called Coca-Cola. You get to a place to share any Coke everywhere, because they have run it through our minds. They have been consistent about their mixing ratio, and our taste bud approve their product. Except for age that restricts so many of us, we'll have still been drinking Coke. Is that true, sir? But now water is taking over. So what again have I said? I want to try and get us to questions and answer. A life given to prayer. That's number what? Sure. Okay. So we have two more to go. A life given to prayer. You can't over pray. Please pray about everything, not some things. So our common sense should be happy to handle that. Don't let common sense help you. Pray about everything. About everything. Including your dressing. Please do. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was preaching in Port Harcourt. I dressed in heavy duty suit. You know suit you can call heavy duty. Because I preach every year in that church. I know the kind of human beings there. So when I go, I'm extremely formal. Do you understand? So I dress. I look at myself in the mirror. I love myself. I say, this is good. Now let's go and take the spirit there. As I wanted to go out, the Lord says, off all these tarpaulins you are wearing. Just offered. I said, God, he says, you have a blue guinea in your bag. That's what you are wearing today. Blue guinea. So I offer all the tarpaulins, wear the blue guinea, since he is the master. Is that right? So we must follow him. Got to church. Here is a drama that happened while I was preaching. As I was preaching, I moved towards the crowd and I was preaching. There was a woman in that service that had partial stroke. Nearly half of her body is not functioning. I didn't know. The woman have had a dream that he saw a preacher in their church wearing a blue guinea and saying to her, your body is restored. I didn't know. So I was going around, and as I was moving, I saw this woman, and she shouted, this is the man I saw. This is the cloth he wore. And I look at her condition. Do you understand? And I said, since her faith had seen me, I said, your body is recovered. Immediately, all her body began to walk. She stood up right in the service. The meeting caught a different dimension. Imagine I've insisted on my coat. Did you get the picture I'm painting? I've insisted to wear, we must wear coat. We must be formal. We must wear coat. And I've gone to preach. God will still do what he will do, but that woman would have missed her miracle. How many agree with that thought? Prayer should reflect in the choice of what we wear. Prayer about how many things? Everything. Please pray. I beg you. I beg you. Don't have public prayer life more than private prayer life. Your private prayer life should be much more than your public prayer life. It's very important. It's very, very important. I should have died. We should have died last month. Myself, my wife. So I wouldn't have been here preaching to you. Myself, my wife, the driver, and a sister, Pastor Fumi, that just had a baby, sat in the front of the car, the driver. I was at the back. My wife was with me, and we left Ibadan, coming for a meeting in Lagos. We're approaching the middle toll gate, about 4 p.m., broad day. Armed robbers showed up. Our car was just beside them like this when they showed up. Armed. And they were in 3 levels on the highway. They've grouped the first group, second group, third group. And as soon as we ran into them, I had a strong word in my spirit. Don't stop, everybody bend down. So I told the driver, everybody bend down and keep driving. Don't stop. And they opened fire at our car and shot that car continuously. Hit the side mirror, hit the windscreen. We're just shouting Jesus. I'm talking of last month. We're just shouting Jesus, and we're driving through the armed robbers. So I told the driver, once the car didn't stop, don't stop. Just keep going. And everybody's head was like this, and was looking faintly. And we were driving until we drove through them. But the car didn't stop. So I said, don't stop. Keep going till we get to where we're going. When we got to where we're going, and we came down from the car to check what has happened, there was no scratch on the car. No bullet entered. No bullets. The windscreen that was shot very directly, the one on my side that was shot, no scratch, no crack. No crack. crack. The car is not bulletproof, but it was God proved. My wife knelt down. I said, Lord, this is a miracle. This is a miracle. I said, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When you are prayerful, you will be Godful. When you are prayerful, your mind can discern if there are evil on the way. If you are prayerful, you will know where to go, where not to go. There are dangers every day. You will say because of that you won't travel. I mean, but pray about everything. Pray about every journey. Pray. Ask Brother Dio. Dio, right? Ayo. That's one of my best friends in this church. He's a good man. Ask him when he comes to pick me at times from the hotel. I said, let us pray. I have prayed before they came. But I said, let us pray. Lord, we're going. Please go with us. Lord, we're going. Because do you know between this point and this point, anything can happen? How many agree with that? We're not praying out of fear. We're praying out of fellowship. Out of what? Fellowship. You always talk to your best friend. Oh boy, I dey go market. Oh boy, can I buy something for you when I'm coming? You pray out of deep fellowship. Deep fellowship. Please don't pray less. Pray for each of your children. Pray for your church. Pray for your pastor. Pray for every troubled member. Please don't pray less. Please pray about everything. About how many things? Everything. Pray about the meeting tonight. I have been praying. Since I came, I've been eating only once a day, waiting on God that he will do great things. Why? If it is well with this man and his business and family, it's a validation of my ministry. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's joy. It's joy. Do you get what I'm saying here? Nobody survives in leadership without a prayer life. Even if you are not a Christian. Hope you know that the Dangotes and Co's have people praying for them. And they pay for it. During Shagari, when he was president, they brought some guys from Senegal, the Marabouts. This guy, they don't see the sun. They are chanting in the room, 24 hours, chanting in the room. Kenneth Hagin, people went to see him and asked him and said, what is your secret in ministry? He says, come, follow me. He took them, this is in Tulsa. When I was preaching in Tulsa, I went to that place to go and check that place. They have an underground. And there are 300 men whose full job is pray. Oh God, help this man, help this work. Because you grow in your leadership delivery to a point where your personal prayer life can drive you on. You need more men to keep praying and praying and praying. The same thing with your businesses. I say there's recession, not for a man, not for a CEO whose business is driven in prayer. Keep all the other principles of making money, keep them in place. Is that okay? And add prayer on top. Pray up your product, pray up your company, pray up what you do. Why? When a man is prayerful, he gets access to the power of God. When a man is prayerful, he speaks as God speaks. When a man is prayerful, his countenance start changing to be like God among men. That happened to Moses. They says they couldn't look at him directly again because he stayed with God for 40 days. And they had to cover themselves. Did you read that in your Bible? Because they couldn't stand the glory of a man that has a prayer life. When you have a prayer life, Jesus said, Father, I thank you, you hear me. How often? Always. Don't negotiate your prayer life for anything. Is that taken? Number 6. Get familiar with the ways of the Spirit. In other words, get filled with the Holy Ghost all the time. All the time. Be a man of the Spirit. Be a man of the Spirit all the time. All the time.
Put on slippers. And the Holy Spirit said, don't put on slippers, put on shoe. And that day I was called in a particular company. It would have been embarrassing for me to go in slippers. Let me just stop there.
You will have branch and buy a shoe. All right. Who has gained anything? I just want to get about 5 feedbacks of people who have gained something today. Yes, sir.
Well, the last point plays a very serious emphasis, especially on the issue of zeal. I do plan every day. My time are also planned. But God pointed my attention to the issue of zeal. Because after planning, it's like I leave it there, as if the plan will actualize itself. But re-echoing it today again is a signal that God is saying something.
Amen. I'm glad you gained that. Thank you. Any other person? Yes, ma'am.
For you to be a leader, you have to search from within. You have to know who you are, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. From there, you can transform your weaknesses to strengths as well. You need to understand that in every step, there are always limits and opportunities. Know your boundaries, but always aim to find opportunities at every position you find yourself.
Very good. Very good. Like I told you last year, when we had the leadership conference, I told you, I said the first law of effective leadership. I don't know if you still remember that statement. The first law of effective leadership is what? Lead yourself. I told you that last year. That's why I'm not going back to it. If you can't lead yourself, you don't have the morality to lead other people. That's the first law. Yes, ma'am. What did you gain, ma'am? Oh, that is also beside you, so we'll take the two of you, one after the other.
Ladies first.
Thank you, ma'am.
I've always believed myself to be a prayer warrior. But from what you said today, it's like God was telling me, see, you say you are a prayer warrior. There are some areas where you don't even touch at all, and you should be touching them. And I think I've learned.
I'm glad to hear that. So there'll be more prayers now, more organized. Yes, Daddy.
It's still on prayers. You say we should have more personal prayer life than public prayer life. Recently, I have upgraded my private prayer life. Excuse me. And the list is ever growing, you know.
Amen.
To the extent that I was wondering how many hours will I be spending on prayers. And it got to a point where I thought I should leave out, even though I haven't seen visible results of some of them. Maybe I should leave out this one, that one, that one, that one. And while I was in that process, somebody, a friend of ours in America, just confirmed that the prayer that I thought I was just praying and praying wasn't answered, had actually been answered. So what you have said now has actually confirmed that one needs to pray more and more, regardless of the situation. One needs to continue to pray until God gives the conviction that there's no need, I have done it.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's get two more. Yes, my friend, whose husband is in the choir. You don't know I remember you. You remember her last year?
Okay. Praise God. I learned the part of doing before you teach. You say many things, but people can, even without talking, just acting
Sure.
can change things.
Very true. Yes, ma'am. Only the woman something more. Is that what happened?
I've gained something in the move of the Spirit. There was a time I was to travel. Then I had my visa ready, but the money wasn't complete. So I had another meeting. I was ironing the clothes I wanted to wear. And in my spirit, I heard, wear that trouser. And I'm wondering, 3/4 to this meeting, it will look very awkward. So, but, you know, the voice was so strong, so I had to go and wear that 3/4. I said, whatever it is. So I wore it. Then I went to somewhere. I brought somewhere before I went for the meeting. And the lady I went to see now said, I like this, your trouser. I said, but I bought one for you the last time I traveled. She said, I don't know, I can't remember again. She now said, but you said you want to travel again. Why have you not gone? I said, my money is not complete. She said, how much do you want more? I said, 500,000. She said, send me your account details. And she said the following morning, she sent the money to my account. So I was able to travel. But you know, listening to you this morning again, there are some other things that I've heard in my spirit like that. But because I have a set way that I wanted to do it, I forgot. Like, okay, I will do it this way. That I haven't seen much results. Yeah. So hearing this morning, I need to go back to listening to
Absolutely. And get familiar with the dealings of the Spirit of God. It's so important. Yes, sir. So we'll just take two more after this, and if you have any question, we'll take it and we'll close.
Thank you, sir. I just want to add or just appreciate the part about the knowledge. Okay, particularly for in the Christian setting, I think most of the time you talked about reading wide, far and wide. I think in the Christian realm, we seem to limit our knowledge alone just to the Bible. And I think it is encouraging and challenging for us that we should broaden our knowledge to be able to also discuss even when they take us outside the Bible, so that we'll be balanced people in the knowledge that we have.
Very true. Very true. One of the training I did is on what is called comparative religion. I did a training on that. And you're looking at Christ in the light of different other faith beliefs and how Christianity is above them all. So it helps you and gets you well equipped if you talk to people of different faith. Is that okay? So it's good. We're just taking two more. So who have something nobody have said that you gain and it's going to help us a lot? Just two. Let me say the answer that I can vote. You know, we are having election very soon. Okay, so let me take you, and let me take that man, and that will be it. Thank you. Let me give you the mic.
What I gained most was living a predictable lifestyle. I'm someone that I often change my mind. I will decide that I will do this. The next minute, I've changed my mind. My children know me for that. She will change her mind after a few hours. So I've learned that I need to be more predictable.
Very good point. On living a predictable life, I made a silly mistake. I serve as Oyo State patron for the Nigerian corpus for the state. And here was my error. They wanted to build, and they've come in to come lay the foundation as their patron. So I went to lay the foundation, and I said to myself, but if they call you a father, you can't lay foundation and walk away. You should contribute. Abi? So without thinking enough, I opened my mouth, and I said, I will supply all the blocks for this building. Say what allowed there. Now in my mind, I thought block is not too expensive. Do you understand? So when I left there and they brought me the bill of quantity and the number of blocks for the entire building, and I told our architect, I said, calculate how much will it cost. When he told me, I sat down quietly. I said, Shama, think about this. And I said to myself, boy, your mouth have said this, you must do it. So I told my wife, so I told her what happened. I said, but please suffer with me. Every money coming now must go for that project, just for me to live to what I have said. Those guys were thanking God for me forever, but I was in pain. You got what I'm saying? I was in pain. When you receive gift from people, be grateful, because they could use it for something else. But it's a sacrifice they made to make it available to you. So you don't take it for granted. I'm talking about being predictable. Do you know it's part of the record of and this corpus today? It's in their record for life. Reverend literally built this house as a Monkakao. If I'm to make that statement next time, I will have actually given you 10 bags of cement and walk away. But you see, that is the Jephthah spirit. You know Jephthah? Once your mouth said, do it. It could be painful, but do it. That's why think before you say it. Thank you, ma, for getting that. Here's the last point.
When you were on the power of knowledge point, where we are to move forward intelligently, my mind went to the words in the Bible, those wars that happen in the Bible, and then we had wars that people who fought those wars had boundaries. They were fighting under almost the same ideology, but these days we've been fighting Boko Haram war for like 7 years now, and I feel it's a different. The Boko Haram people have a different ideology. They want to go to war, and they want to die. So it's very unlike the wars that happened in the Bible. And so I feel at this point, I wish the military men are here, so that I feel we need that knowledge. I feel we have gotten to a
military man?
No, sir. I feel we have gotten to a point where we really have to move forward intelligently and not going to that war with AK-47 and with aircraft, and we feel we will be able to conquer them. I feel we really need that knowledge. So when you were saying it, my mind just went there that we are fighting this war. It's an unusual war because they want to go there and die. It's very unlike the ideology of, okay, when your enemy is backing you, you don't have to shoot. This is a different ball game. And I feel knowledge and intelligence is needed here.
Thank you, sir. You don't say all that you know. Do you understand? I know a lot of background events going on in this country, but it's not a safe place to say it. You get it? But it's not like you have said it. The story is a lot different. But you see, one thing I used to do, or we do as a ministry, is that we hold meetings for top military officers. It's on Facebook. You can go check it. Top military officers, police, immigration, all the armed forces. So I took scared for. Do you know there are people like that? Now, these are the things that make some pastors to jump into what they shouldn't get involved with because they have capable hands. You understand my thought? Where the capable hands are there, that pastor is blessed. Look at Mr. Ayo. Is it Ayo? This guy, pastor can go and sleep and hand over protocol to him. He's the one checking on me. Have you eaten? Have you did this? I have a lot of friends in this city who came to greet me in the hotel yesterday. Gbogbo fruits there go for me, gbogbo wanted jetta and everything. Did I say anything to you? I didn't say anything to him. He came this morning and said, I forgot to check your fridge yesterday and see if there's any other thing left. And he checked. He said, everything is. I said, yes. I said, I had a lot of pastors who knew I'm around here, and they have come to greet me and what of you, and I have served them. I said, okay, we'll do something. I said, don't worry, at the fair party revival. I said, no, we'll do something. Now, that should have been pastor's headache. But he has an able man who can cover up that area. So you have able people who can cover up the area of finance, cover the area of this, the area of that. You will just restrict yourself to prayer and studying the word. Prayer and studying the word. And you'll be a fantastic preacher. Do I answer your question, sir? It makes all the difference. A pastor in charge of the choir, ensure there is no indiscipline in the choir. Ensure we have correct guys playing instrument to us. Ensure that everything is on time. It relieves the pastor. Not that they sing one song and say, you want to really? You don't call by any clubhouse or one rehearsal in church. Thank you for asking that question. So many pastors are being overstressed because of men who are given position and they are not delivering. What about Joe Yeni? My deacon, he's doing nothing. Yeah, deacon. You got what I'm saying? He's doing nothing. Solving no problem. Do that make sense? Thank you, sir, for that question. I think that's all the questions we had. Did I miss any out? Okay. Shall we rise to close? Is it worth it having this time together? Lift up your hands. Let's thank him who gives knowledge to all men. Tell God you will not be ignorant as you serve his cause. And all the knowledge you will need as you study, he will open your eyes. That you'll be a man, a woman of great zeal for the things of God, for the things of your life and family, for your businesses, that the zeal of the Lord will be highly demonstrated. Will be highly demonstrated in everything you do. Thank the Lord, you will labor within provisions of opportunity he has given you. You will not be